Hey guys, Jin Graves here. Uh, doing a video because I actually have to make up time for it. So I totally forgot about my 200 question or reaching 200 subscribers Q&A, and one of my other friends on here, OJ, actually said, "Hey, you forgot to do that," and I was like, "Crap! I guess I'll go back and do it." So this is the semi long awaited video, which I was glad I didn't have too many people ask me that many questions. So hopefully this won't be like that long of a video. But I know people ask me questions about different stuff every day. So anyway, but we'll get to it. So see if I can see it too. So the first one is OJ, which is who reminded me about it. So his first question was, have you ever taken a long break from collecting manga? I assume it's not collecting anything else. Um, yes. Um, I have. It was called basically being a teenager, and it was also basically being a young adult turning 21. So, um, as you'll know, like back in the day, I used like my allowance to try and get manga the whole time, so I really didn't have anything. Probably for a while there was a big gap there where I didn't really get to buy hardly anything, if I bought anything at all. Then I kind of bought a little bit. I had a job at Wendy's that I worked at, and I bought some stuff for that. But nothing quite as big. Um, a while there, it wasn't like really getting too much manga. It was more like getting the Shonen Jump issues and trying to read all of those and different stuff. So I have all of those, which is a good thing. That's one of my favorite accomplishments, I would say, in life, is that I collected all of Shonen Jump, including um, all the big volumes that came out, everything when they first started coming out, and Volume Zero, which was just kind of a test run for them in America. Um, Freaking love it. That was probably one of my biggest things. Um, so, yeah, I would say probably doing that. I didn't get to collect anything, and getting stuff from my job when I worked at a bar when I was like 21, as like a busboy slash bouncer when I actually hit 21. Um, I didn't actually get to get anything around that time too. That was also kind of close to around the time after that I actually found Right Stuff and started getting stuff from them, which is why it goes back so far with me and them. So I've probably been getting stuff from them for probably about the past like 5 years or so. Um, yeah, I mean, so in that time, there wasn't really a lot that I got. So, do I have any pets? Yes, I have three dogs, two black labs that are mixes. They are both, because they're brothers. They're both half um, black lab with a quarter bloodhound and a quarter pit bull. Um, so really cool. I had to show you all a picture of them sometimes, or something. Maybe I can get them in a video too. Um, that'll be like a when I get to like a 350 subscriber video though. When I hit about a 50 mark, I like to give you guys like a little like thing. So when I reach 250, which is the next one, y'all will get the meaning of my tattoos. And so 350 will probably be when you'll get to actually have a video like my pets, different things. I like to kind of add stuff to it. So um, anyway, um, and then I have my third dog, which is a half German Shepherd, quarter Australian Shepherd, um, and I believe he's got a little pit bull mixed with him too. Um, but and they're all named after gods. My first two I kind of got, and me and my friend were trying to figure out what kind of names we wanted to name them because it was going to be them living here and with my roommates and stuff before they moved out. Um, so I ended up picking Anubis and Ares. That's my first two. Anubis, it totally fits his name. He breaks out of everything. He knows how to open doors, locked rooms, like crazy stuff. You know, it'd almost be cool to see like just a fun little series. You know, maybe like a chapter from the guy that makes Case Closed of like trying to figure out how my dog broke out of stuff. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. So that's Anubis, you know, Egyptian god of trickery and destruction and stuff, which he does have a little bit of stuff with that too. He does kind of tend to end up breaking some stuff when he gets out, so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And then Ares is my other one. He's the one that looks more pit bull that I have and sounds more bloodhound than the other one. The other one looks straight lab. Ares is kind of my one that looks a little different, but Ares, God of War, um, when he growls, I would say he's got some God of War tendencies there. Most of the time, it's a howl, like you know, like an old Yeller howl, or well, not an old Yeller howl. Old Yeller was a yellow lab. Who is it? Off of Fox and the Hound, the old dog, Chief. That's what his name is. He's got one of those kind of howls or anything that's kind of got like a bloodhound in it when they do that loud like woof. You know, where they let you know like they got something. He usually does that if he sees people walking on the street behind our house. So, and then Alma is short for Amaterasu, which is the goddess of the sun in Japanese folklore. So that's kind of where we got them. I was like, oh, well, what do I want to name Alma? Well, there's not any like good A names in Norse mythology, so I searched around a little bit and I ended up finding Matarasu, and I was like, well, I'll name him this. He does kind of prance around, which is kind of funny, so I would say he does have some female tendencies um, that would go with the Amaterasu goddess as far as like dancing around with the sun and stuff like that. But I mean, he's pretty cool too. Um, but yeah, I've had them for a while. Alma is my youngest one and is should be about a year and a half now. And Aries and Anubis are starting to get a little gray, both of them. Kind of like me right there. Um, let's see. I've probably they're probably about 3.5 years old, something like that, 4 years old. I can't remember. You know, it's been a while since I first got them as little puppies. So all three of them I've raised from puppies, which is kind of you know, a good challenge in itself. But you know, like I said before, you know, in my other video, you know, you take care of pets and you do everything else that you do. Collecting manga is just kind of hobby that you do on the side, and for me to be able to kind of juggle both of those, a family life and a job and everything, I think I'm doing pretty good. So, what about Dragon Ball Evolution? I haven't played a Dragon Ball game in a long time, but it's one of the few games that me and my brother can't play anymore because he would pick Vegeta, which is his favorite guy, and I would pick Goku all the time, and we would end up fighting, and we have these things that we call title matches, which he likes wrestling, I don't, but that's one of the things we kind of took from it that I approve of. Um, we'll play like games back and forth together, and we'll be like, oh yeah, the well, basically, if you play a game with somebody and it's a game that you both enjoy and challenge everybody in, then usually about after 10 games of you winning straight in a row, you win the title match, and the other person really doesn't get to like challenge you to it anymore. They can still play you in it, and but at that point, then losing doesn't really matter, because you kind of won the title belt. So maybe them winning 10 times would undo it, but we've never done that before. But I think it was Dragon Ball Infinite World was the last one that we played on. I think it was the PS2. That's the one we played. We kind of played different games, but he he is probably one of the fighting game masters. I would say I'll practice with him sometimes, and if I can beat him, maybe one out of 10, then I'm happy. Because sometimes I'm just not interested in a bunch of the games that he plays, unless we're both playing it for like the storyline or something like that. But it just kind of depends. Um, but yeah, other games like I'm good at them. He will choose sometimes not to play those because he's kind of like, you know, I can't believe you did this. Da, da, da. So, but yeah, he's played it. I haven't really. Um, where did you get your Delicious in Dungeon poster? So, I got the Delicious in Dungeon poster, and I got the Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Girls Up in a Dungeon at my local Barnes and Noble. Um, they were giving out the posters, and I ended up picking some up for me and my brother. So, I don't even know if he has his anymore. Um, I just had to clean part of the room, so he's got some of his posters right here. And I do not think that. I think the only one he got was the Delicious. Well, not the Delicious in Dungeon, but Is It Wrong to Try and Pick a Girl Up in a Dungeon one? I think that's the only one he got. So, yeah. So that's done with your questions, though, Mascio J. So, the next one, haven't heard from him in a while, or her, is Anna Bolick. I'm not sure if that's a boy or a girl. Anabolic, though. Um, they're one of my comic book people that I like to watch, though, I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, the first one is question on theirs um, is there any. Oh, no, this is the last one of yours, Mascio J. My bad. Um, any anime better than the manga? Is there any anime better than the manga? Yes. Um, as far as I know, there's not ones that I know of just off the top of my head. Um, I would say probably old Tokyo Pop stuff that was based off of video games. The animes for those are a lot better. The one that I have coming to mind right now, though, is Devil May Cry. The game was great. Devil May Cry 3 was. Um, Devil May Cry 4 was kind of the one where um, I didn't like it as much. My brother loved it, so I'm kind of waiting for the fifth one to come out so I can enjoy that too. Um, but the anime for Devil May Cry, if you've seen it, is smashing. Um, and I would say that that was better than the anime or the manga. So, I mean, it's just a really good series. So, um, but yeah. So now we're done with you, and now we're on Anabolic. Anabolic's first question, though, comics versus manga, and what do I think about it? Um, Manga is my passion, so manga will probably always beat out comics. But there are a bunch of storylines in comics that I like to read too. I like different heroes that sometimes you don't get to read about, um, or watch the shows. And some people know it. Um, DC's the Dark Knight Metals coming out. I was buying the different Batman's storyline ones for that. I think I still need one more. I have all the other ones. Love it. That was great. I would have to say that was a masterpiece. I haven't read any of the other stuff for it though, but the individual stories and bringing them together and basing it off of every member of the Justice League was just, it was clever. So then we have um, DC Blackest Night. I love that one where the Green Lantern rings, they had the Black Lantern rings come in and it turned like dead heroes into zombies and they had to fight and get all the other rings to basically like help each other out. That was something that I thought was spectacular. Kid Kaiju's one that I've started liking. Um, Old Spider Man, old um, Strange. Um, but yeah, usually you won't ever see any of the comic books that I've bought because um, whenever I buy them, I usually give them to my brother to put them into his collection. And like I've said before, um, I have done some of the comic book stuff for him. Like when I do my Saturday job, one of the guys that's up at the flea market sells some comic books, and I've bought, um, like $60 worth of comic books, like for him before, and the guy will sell me like those for like a dollar or two. Just kind of depends on which ones I want. But yeah, he'll sell them for to me like for like a dollar or two, and so I usually get a bunch, and I'm like, here, bro, here's this, da da da. So some of them are ones that I would like to have, like I said, the Batman medal and all that, but I've kind of left that up to him so he can have comic books and stuff. He has a few manga that people have given him, but it doesn't. I don't think it compares to comic books for him. So, um, but I mean, I have maybe like a quarter of his collection, but mine are all comic books that I bought on like the Marvel website, different stuff like that. I usually read them online. Um, you know, cheaper, easier way to do it that way too. So, but yeah, manga over comic books, but I do read a lot of comic books too. It just depends on if I get tired of reading manga or something like that. Um, so, and then second and last question: do you collect any comics or have plans for or money um, that I have for comics, or am I just saving money for manga? Um, like I like I explained in the other one, um, manga. That's majority, but I do spend a lot and give them to my brother. So hopefully, at some point, he would do a comic book collection video. I know I've helped him sort through his a couple times, trying to figure out like different stuff. If there was a first appearance, if there's something, and with comic books, variant covers come into play a lot. So if you have different ones of that, it kind of it's a collector's item. You'd want to have like the first Fantastic Four book. You'd want that one, and if there was like an exclusive cover with like um, maybe them in a sneak preview of like Bombastic Bagman, or like one of the solid white covers, I've seen that, or a gold or silver cover, or maybe the villains on the front, just different stuff like that. Um, a lot of stuff like that actually means more in the comic world than it does in the manga world. So, But yeah, comics for me, mostly manga, or I buy them online basically. Um, from that, I've never bought any DC ones online. I mostly just stick to the Marvel one, because I know most of the DC ones are ones that I'd probably read and get, and then majoritively those go to my brother. So, but yeah, good stuff. Um, that was the last question, though. I think I had some on another video, but I just can't remember. And the other thing is, I can't find the video, so I'm not 100% sure. Um, but if I could find that, if somebody else sees it, let me know, and I'll do like a second part, try and catch up on doing that too. But, um, you know, hopefully, and some of these questions helped y'all get to know me a little better. Wink. So, anyway, I will catch you guys later. Jim Graves out. Bye.